Then the black act, yes, it will start very low because she has lost the love of her life, Boy Capel, in a car accident. Unfortunately, the big drama in her life is that she had a lot of men, but no one ever decided to marry her for different reasons. And the one man that she loved really deeply is going to come back as a ghost in the second act and haunt her, and she'll never forget him. So the black act starts with her mourning the loss of Boy Capel. Then we have, unfortunately, the war times. So these are going to be Nazis, and where she lived at the Ritz. And there's this huge discussion about, is she an anti-Semite, or is she an opportunist and she's a woman having to survive and she's going to do anything to survive. And so I think she slept with the enemy to survive, not exactly because she was anti-Jew, because actually Wertheimer, who paid for, all her collections and the perfume, she denounced him, but he had sold the perfume to a French businessman 1 year before the war because he saw it coming. Very smart man. And so after the war, she was sent to exile because she was, sued by the police. And after 15 years, it is Wertheimer who came back to her and said, I want you to do a collection and I'll finance it. And the first collection was a total disaster. It had really bad reviews. And he was like, I'll finance the second collection. And then because of that, the American women started buying her clothes. And that's when she resurrected, thanks to Wertheimer. So that will be a difficult episode to tell. And that's her in exile, so how we use the set to do, like, she's in a police station and then they will turn around and she'll disappear. And then we come to the end, there's the whole Dior section, but then in the end we'll have a big fashion show of 12 silhouettes by Chanel, and then they'll stand back on the chairs, they're going to come back down, and we'll see the beginning, but then with a different silhouette. And so the last quote is, in order to be irreplaceable, one must always be different. And that is something that I always try to tell young choreographers. Don't try to be trendy. Don't try for people to love you, to follow your big idols. Try to be authentic, even if you feel that it's just simple. At some point, the simplicity will be universal and people will recognize themselves. So be different, because at some point we'll all recognize ourselves. So this was my...
Yay. Thank you. I want to dig in. There's a few things I wanted to quickly ask about. One is I wanted to go to your decision, or how you went about wrestling with this dark chapter. What are you hoping audiences will take from that chapter?
Well, I'm not talking about her childhood, but she was basically abandoned by her father and had to survive in every, moments of her life. So in her 20s, she was a showgirl, and she never talked about her past, but there is some research that actually she was a prostitute, and she's not proud of that part of her life. But at that time, in 1889 or 98, that was the way she could survive, because she didn't have the means, the family, she didn't have the study, and out of surviving. And I think that the war years is her surviving. She's not proud of it. She wouldn't do it again if she knew, but she did it because she had to survive. And I think it really stems from nobody's there for her, so she'll do it herself. And also the fact that she always wanted to be independent. She had these two men in her life, Balzan and Capel, who helped her financially to open her first shop. But she always said, I will pay you back every penny, because she didn't want to be dependent of them. And that's the same in those times. She doesn't want to be dependent, so she will do whatever it takes.